Hey guys, we're back with round two, our five round league, and yeah, we got a pretty good hand, I think.
Yeah, this is the type of thing you're looking for. You got two burns, like two regular type burn spells, a removal spell for a creature, a great first turn play, and an Eidolon. And Eidolon's just probably the best second turn play against most decks. So,
Yeah, that makes sense. Eidolon is certainly the most powerful card in the deck, I think.
yeah,
It has
especially
the
with
capability of doing more damage than any other card.
yep. So this is a keep, and we're on the draw this game
Mm-hmm.
against Affinity. It looks like,
Land against Affinity. Yep.
which means that this Searing Blaze is going to be great.
Yeah, for
Three
sure.
Ornithopters, impressive. Okay, so
Okay.
this is you always want to play the Goblin Guide before the Monastery Solstice,
Especially if they have a bunch of Ornithopters in play.
yeah.
So do we want to get a dual land right now? I don't think we need it because Affinity's an aggressive deck just like we are, so our life actually is a bit relevant, and we don't have any gold cards in our hand, despite what that Searing Blaze wants you to think. It's actually
Yeah.
a mono red card. And
Yeah.
so we won't need both green and white unless we have some... There are very few draw steps that we're going to see in which we're going to need both green and white. So
Yeah. So if we draw another one later on, we've got another fetch land in our hand.
Mhm.
So it's not a big deal. Etch a Champion. So Etch a Champion is a big deal against Burn because, or nothing.
He did nothing. Okay. So he's
That's
just
a
got a
big
bunch
deal.
of 2-drops in his hand and he can't play any of them? That's really
Yeah, 2 drops in Etch a Champions.
Okay, so what would you like to do this turn then? Should we? I don't like playing the Eidolon this early because there's so much more things in our hand that we want to develop before we get the Eidolon down, I think. It's just
And
my guess.
the thing is, if we cast Eidolon this turn, that also means we don't get Searing Blaze with Landfall.
Right.
Unless we draw another fetch land later on. So there's two main options. We could either play Searing Blaze or we could play Monastery Swiftspear and Lava Spike.
Yeah, those were the lines that I was seeing as well. The Monastery Swiftspear Lava Spike is going to be the most... it has the most velocity of those plays, but if we do that and we fail to draw another land, then our Searing Blaze loses quite a bit of value, whereas the Swiftspear and the Lava Spike will not.
True. I think I like this Monastery Swiftspear plus Lava Spike play because we also want to get rid of cards in our hands for Eidolon.
Mhm.
And if we're testing 2 cards in a turn rather than 1, I think that's good. Also, just having a Monastery Swiftspear in play for when we play with Searing Blaze later is going to be great.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's do that. Also, we want to get him dead as soon as we possibly can to punish him for missing a land drop.
Yep. And I think we still just want a basic here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. What about Sacred Foundry?
Sacred Foundry could be a consideration.
Just the Boros Charms or the Atarkus Commands. Those are the only gold cards in our deck right now.
Currently, yeah. I kind of like what... I'd say we just want a Mountain because we don't really... If we draw a Boros Charm and a Atarkus Command, we have things to do later.
Okay.
So
Yeah, there's still plenty of things
like
to do.
saving life.
Okay, we can go ahead and go that route then. All right, we get the prowess. So hopefully he does not hit a land off of Goblin Guide. Always be good.
Yep, it's always a good thing for them not to draw extra cards.
And get out of their mana troubles.
Yep. And that's the thing with Goblin Guide that's kind of annoying. Sometimes you're like, do I even attack with it?
Yeah.
Because 90% of the time, you just deal with 2 damage. But still, when they're in mana and you've got cards in hands, you could always see you just not attacking with it.
Yep. I mean, I guess you kind of have to pay some price in order to get a 1-mana 2/2 haste.
Of course. And I don't even the thing is, it's not even completely a downside because I know he has an Edge of Champion in it.
Right.
Which is great. That's so helpful. I know that's coming, so I can prepare for it.
Yep, absolutely.
Also, another important thing is the Skullcrack, which is pretty good against something that has protection.
That's true.
Glimmer Void, oh no.
Yep, he got his land. So we're probably going to be seeing a Ravager this turn, you think?
Most likely, yes.
Cranial plating is okay, but that would be much less scary, I believe.
Yeah, cranial plating doesn't do a lot, but Ravager, when you have 4 artifacts in play, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it would slow the game down, which isn't what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we just want to get into it fast.
I suppose the other option is Steel Overseer, which would be the best thing for us because that gives us a very good use for our Searing Blaze.
Yeah, even if we don't draw the land, we can still do a ton of black. Exactly. Okay. Vault Scourge.
All right.
That's also really good for us. We can kill it with Searing Blaze whether or not we draw land, and it doesn't do anything. So
are we going to want to cast Searing Blaze after at blockers or before?
I like after, because if he blocks with an Ornithopter, we just get a free 2 damage. Like, if them not knowing that I have it is better for us.
Sure.
So I like just using it after blocks.
Okay, let's go ahead with that.
It also gives us, if they block in a way that we don't care, we can also just cast Eidolon or Skullcrack or something like that.
That's true.
So it gives us more things that we can do.
Playing at pre-combat, the advantage to that would be that he can't block with his Vault Scourge if he wishes, if he wanted to.
Yeah, and my guess what their plan is right now is cast a Cranial Plating, attach it to Vault Scourge, and attack for a lot. Because having you don't the hand. Actually, that's really interesting. They didn't cast it turn 2, even though they had it. Is that right? Because they drew Etch a Champion that turn?
Yeah, they could have. No, they drew Etch Champion the turn before. They drew Glimmer Void off of our Goblin Guide, and then they drew another card.
That's true.
If the other card was the Vault Scourge, then that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Now they're just jumping. Oh, maybe jumping?
Nope.
Okay. So, yeah, I think we do Searing Blaze now.
Okay. So it's going to put him down to 8.
Yep. And less Ornithopters is good for us.
Yep, absolutely. If we draw a land next turn, we're in really good shape.
Yep. Cranial Plating, yeah.
Plating, okay.
Okay.
We win, okay.
Would have drawn the land, which allows us to Searing Blaze and Lava Spike.
Yep. All right, let's sideboard.
Okay.
All right.
Destructive Revelries.
Yep, that card's great against Affinity. Helix also great.
Helix, Searing Blaze.
We got lots of good stuff. The nice thing about Affinity is that not only are a lot of things artifacts, but they're also creatures. So tons of creature removal in the deck because it's all burn spells.
Yep. Another thing that I could consider is Deflecting Palm, because Deflecting Palm, it's good against Cranial Plating and Arcbound Ravager.
Yep, if they have a really big Ravager.
Yep, which and even if they put the counters onto something with Ravager.
Yeah, it doesn't do the damage to them, but it'll prevent the damage. So I'm not a huge fan of Deflecting Palm against Ravager specifically. And also against Cranial Plating, if they have the black to move the Cranial Plating over, then it doesn't do anything. So Deflecting Palm can be nice. There's little
niches.
There's some spots where you can thread the needle and it'll be a big blowout. But if we're trying to be as consistent as we possibly can, there's also going to be other games where it doesn't do anything and it sits in your hand and rots. So,
when you're needing to draw any 3 damage spell and you got a Deflecting Palm instead.
Right. So I think I'm okay with not playing the Deflecting Palm. So if we're taking things out, what should we do?
In terms of taking things out, Skullcrack gets worse, but it's still fine because of Etch a Champion. However, I don't want 3.
Okay.
1 or 2 is probably correct, I would say.
How about the Atarka's commands?
The Atarka's commands are good and bad in certain ways. So they're good because they allow you to buff your creatures and block their flyers, which can be really important.
Reach is pretty relevant, actually.
Yeah, Reach is very relevant on that card. And dealing 3 damage to them is nice. So they're not fabulous, but they're not terrible either.
Right. So one thing that I'd be a little concerned about is the fact that we've got 8 green-red cards and 6 red-white cards. That's a bit of a strain compared to what we're used to as far as our mana is concerned.
That's
so
true.
possibly we would want to cut some of our other gold cards, like maybe shave a couple of Tarkus commands, shave a Boros Charm or something along those lines.
Yeah, I could see that. Just like taking out 2 Atarkus commands. I normally want to take out another Skullcrack and a Boros Charm. Roof Bolt's kind of nice because it can shoot creatures.
Yeah, it is a bit slow though. Lava Spike does not shoot creatures.
Yeah, Lava Spike is not
so
great.
I'm okay with shaving a Lava Spike or 2 as well.
I also don't really need creatures, so.
Okay, you could shave. Do you think Goblin Guide is worse than Swift Spear against Affinity?
I like Swift Spears because of you're playing so many instant speed removal spells type things. So.
Okay, let's give this a try.
That's like the fact that Monastery Swift Spear, you can go turn 1 Monastery Swift Spear, turn 2 Searing Blaze, Destructive Revelry, and like have it do the same amount of damages. And even like later on when you can go bolt type of thing.
Sure. All right, let's see what we got. This hand's really good.
Yes, this is like we have 2 good 1-drop creatures, 2 bolts, and a Boros Charm. Yeah, this hand's just great.
This hand is one of the reasons why Burn is a pillar of the format.
Yeah. When you can do this to somebody, that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And this card right here is why Affinity is one of the pillars of the format.
Right. Let's see, is he going to actually do anything though? Because he can't use that Mox Opal mana yet.
Yeah, I can't use either. Yeah, like a Memnite or Ornithopter would be great here.
Yep.
If you don't have one of those.
So for our first mana next turn, are we going to be fetching a Sacred Foundry probably?
I like just getting Mountain actually, because we don't want to take damage until later, and if we just hard draw a Sacred Foundry, we don't want to have fetched for 1. So
now we do.
Now we do. Yeah, because we need to get both colors. We have to.
Or actually, I think we get Stomping Ground because Boros Charm is the last card that we play.
That's true. Yeah, Stomping Ground.
Yeah, let's get Stomping Ground.
We definitely need to get 1. Like, we need another color, though.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Destructive Revelry is probably coming down next turn. Kill that Mox Opal.
Yeah, we just want to get them off mana.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's important.
Well, I suppose not necessarily. It all depends on what his next play is. Because casting a Swift Spear and Lava Spiking him is also, or bolting whatever creature he decides to play, is a very powerful play as well.
Yep.
Or if he plays like a Cranial Plating, then we're killing that.
Yes. Although, just a Cranial Plating isn't that dangerous.
Sure. So. He needs some creatures to put it on too.
Yeah, if we can, it might not even be worth it to kill the Cranial Plating if we can just kill all the creatures that he's playing. So Mox Opal is not good for that.
Mox Petal. Legendary.
Yeah.
All right, still no 3rd artifact. That's pretty good. And then he'll be...
Oh, there is a 3rd artifact. So that means 2 extra mana, which is going to be a...
Put the Cranial Plating into play, possibly?
Cranial Plating would be great for us because we just Destructive Revelry the Ravager and then don't have a creature.
Yep.
3-drop.
Oh,
that's not good.
Champion, possibly? Or
Master with everything.
That one's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. We can just get rid of that easily.
Hey, we got a Sacred Foundry, so now we only have to take 1 damage off of our Scalding Tarn, which is kind of nice.
Yep. So Destructive Revelry, yeah, we just have to Destructive Revelry because if we play Monastery Swift Spear like plus a Lava Spike or Lightning Bolt, we can't actually get through the Master of Ethereum.
Right.
So
that follow-up Ravager is still going to be pretty frustrating to deal with, though, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. Luckily, we got a lot of damage in hand, so we're dealing 216.
Does this Destructive Revelry 18. do any damage? I don't think it does it? Because he gets to sacrifice his Master.
Yeah, because he can sacrifice it because it's target, so it's 2 damage to the artifact.
Yeah, it only targets 1 thing. Not
and
like Searing Blaze, where it doesn't matter if their creature dies in respawn.
Yeah, or it targets both, so. Mm-hmm.
All right. On the bright side, though, he's only down to 1 card, so hopefully he won't have too much to refill his hand. He'll be in decent shape, I think.
Yep, Blink Moth Nexus.
Blink Moth. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Blink Moth is definitely annoying. So they played the Mox of Bolster.
Okay, so he's going to be down to 16. How much damage do we have in our hand right now? We have 10 in
This is
direct
10, yeah.
Blink Moth. Yep.
No, second Ravager.
That's quite good.
Yeah. And with the Blink Moth in hand.
I'll probably eat that Blink Moth and possibly a Springleaf Drum. Or he might make another Nexus and feed that to his second Ravager, and then he'd have two large creatures, one that he can attack with and one that he can block with.
Yeah, both of them are bad for us. And this Ink Moth Nexus is going to be very dangerous soon.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
With just ravaging onto it and put like 8 counters on it or something along this line. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I can put like 9 counters on it next turn. So
yep,
that's not good. So it looks like we might have to keep Lightning Bolt up in order to survive that.
Eidolon, that doesn't do very much at this point. He's almost out of cards.
Yeah. And his last card is a land.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we want to do here is shock a Sacred Foundry, Lava Spike, and pass.
Okay.
So what that does for us is if he goes for the Ink Moth, then we can just bolt it, which may or may not kill it depending on how he uses the Ravagers. But I think that's our only chance against that play. So
right.
I think we just have to do it.
And then if he doesn't do anything that requires our interaction, then we've got the Boros Charm to at least be mana efficient.
Yep. And then next turn, we also have chump blockers and Monastery Sphere and Eidolon.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't look like not the Ink Moth, just for the direct damage.
Right.
So interesting.
Holding that Ravager back. Okay.
So this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. So you have to block.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ooh, actually, we could also just... Oh, no, that doesn't work. Never mind. I was thinking we could just take the damage, and when they move it over, just bolt it, but that doesn't work at all. Because they can just use the other Ravager to ravage onto it. So
right.
We have to block. Unless they ravage onto the Ravager, in which case we bolted and respawn, and we don't take any. We take like 5 damage or so.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we go to 8.
There's Boros Charm here.
And I guess we go Swift Spear Pass.
Yeah, and we're most likely just dead on this turn.
Mm-hmm. But he could definitely mess it up.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Affinity is a really hard deck to play. So if you ravage onto the wrong thing in this scenario, I just bolt it and it's gone.
Yeah, if he oversteps himself, then he's in a lot of trouble.
Yep.
And this gives us a chance, if he doesn't kill us this turn, to top deck a Bird's Fill for the win.
Yep.
third Ravager. Whoa.
Yeah, so that's going to be an extra, like, 2 counters.
Yeah.
So, that's not good. But we're dead pretty much no matter what. Sacrificing the Moxable.
Okay. Yep, I think we're dead.
Yeah. Bolted. Sac 2, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I think we just have to hope for when I bolt a Blink Moth.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do anything. 5, 6, 7.
And yeah, he just gets to sacrifice this Blink Moth if you bolt it.
Yep. And we'll go for it.
Could just sacrifice his Ravager.
Yep. There's many ways where this is not. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's game.
GG. All right. Would you like to make any changes for our sideboard?
There is a consideration of Path to Exile.
I don't love Path.
Yeah,
it doesn't do damage to them. I guess it kills them no matter how big their creature is, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Especially since he showed the big guy, 3 mana.
Master of Ethereum.
Master of Ethereum, yeah. But even so, like,
I think all the cards are better.
Fan of Path against Affinity. Yeah.
Yeah. I think all of these cards are better against Affinity, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go ahead and submit as is.
Submit this. Being on the play is definitely helpful, though.
Absolutely.
When we can beat the aggressor and play turn 2 Eidolons, that's really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Turn 2 Eidolons and turn 2 Searing Blaze, whatever you play, is really good.
So maybe a Lavamancer. That would be pretty great.
Yeah, Lavamancer is great at just getting rid of like pesky little signal pests and Vault Scourges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. If they have a slow turn 1 and we can get a turn 2 Eidolon and deal them like 6, that's definitely a good way to win.
If you can get 6 damage out of an Eidolon, usually that's going to be enough to win the game against Affinity.
Yep.
Let's see. What cards do they have against Burn? I don't think they have particularly too much.
Yeah, I don't think they play any life gain cards, so.
Mm-mm.
Most don't. On the play this time, and this is not good.
Yeah, this hand is like a bit. It's a bit too flooded.
Yeah, just having 4 lands is not
if one of those lands was any spell, I think it would be actually great. But
yeah,
very
definitely
risky because if we draw lands, then we're just not going to have enough damage to win the game.
Yep. So, mulligan this one. And this is where we get into Risk Town, because having 4 good 2-drops, but having 1 land is...
Mm-hmm. And we also, since that's a fetch land, it basically takes away our scry.
Yep.
I would keep this hand only because Searing Blaze is so powerful that if we get our land drop, then like that might be enough to carry us out. We're certainly in a bad spot, though, and we're going to have to get lucky to win.
Definitely. That's what happens where basically if we don't draw the land, this is mulliganing to 2.
Yeah. If there is a land on top, how do you feel about not making a turn 1 play?
Definitely considering it, because having a land, this just getting a turn 2 Eidolon against Affinity is so good,
Yeah.
especially with Searing Blade's backup. I'd say I would just play the Bloodstone Mire and pass.
Okay.
So keep this. That's not a land. So.
Goblin Guide on top. That is a thing, though. Nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. So play it and get rid of it. And here we definitely just want Mountain.
Okay.
It's like if we're drawing the higher cost cards of the deck, then we're not doing well. So we just want to not take damage and hopefully race.
Come on, Stomping Ground.
There's the land.
Yeah, looks like he got a pretty good draw.
There we go.
That's really good.
So yeah,
are we going to
now we're in
Eidolon,
shape.
or do you want to just bolt that Ornithopter down so that it keeps him off of Mox Opal mana?
I really like playing Searing Blaze because if they can never use the mana from Mox Opal, then my Eidolon is doing the same thing, except I get extra damage in with Monastery Slow Spear.
Sounds good.
And also being able, if I play the Eidolon, I can't use Landfall on these later on.
Right.
So I'd rather just be able to use Landfall.
Okay.
This time we're getting a Stomping Ground.
Yeah, I like Stomping Ground here too. All right, and hopefully he doesn't have much this turn.
That would be optimal. Cranial Plating is not much.
Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah, so this game is definitely turning out better because now we can just play this Eidolon, attack for 1 with the Monastery Slow Spear. Whatever spell they cast is just going to deal them damage. And they still don't have Metalcraft.
Right.
That's for Metalcraft. So it's a colored spell, most likely? Yeah. Whip Flare.
All right, that's pretty good.
It's a good one. Seagate Wreckage. I don't know if I've seen that one out of Infinity. It's good, though.
Why would he activate his Inkmoth Nexus if he had a Memnite in his hand?
I have no clue.
Interesting.
Because Memnite doesn't actually die to the Whip Flare because it's a non-artifact.
Right.
So
just like
this land was really good, though.
I agree. Yeah, that was fantastic. So we're probably just Searing Blazing and Lava Spiking.
Yep.
And are we getting a basic mountain here? Or do you want to get the Sacred Foundry just so that our...
I like getting Sacred Foundry because they have an Inkmoth Nexus. Right. So I think that's going to be the way they kill us anyway.
That makes sense. Right now they have 2 artifacts. 3, 4 if they activate both Inkmoth and Blinkmoth. So
we still need to draw out of this. Oh, tapping Inkmoth.
Yeah, we are actually. Well, I guess we may not be a little bit behind now. Master, okay.
That's not good for us. I'm going to equip the Cranial Plating.
Sure.
Yeah. So we definitely need to draw out of this. So we got to play the Eidolon.
Yeah, let's play the Eidolon, and that means he can't play anything next turn, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. So we definitely need to draw out of this, but it's definitely possible with our deck and their deck. So 6. Okay.
Is he going to play something? No, he's just going to attack.
Yeah. Just attacking for 10.
Are we going to chump block? Looks like if we draw land, then...
Oh, just not attack with the Blinkmoth Nexus. Interesting. Maybe just realized a mistake. Yeah, because attacking with Blinkmoth just leaves them dead to anything. I like not attacking to... No, they can just Cranial Plating. Yeah, I like just not blocking.
Okay, yeah, then our land kills him. because he's going to activate his creature, and then our Searing Blaze will kill it, and then Eidolon kills him for 2.
Yep. And even like if we draw the land, we win. If we draw burn spell, a good burn spell, we're in really good shape. And we're still at 5 life, so we can still cast a variety of spells. So
we need to draw not a creature.
Yes. And even a Galvanic Blast, if we can cast the Searing Blaze. Okay. So interesting. So Lightning Bolt currently kills Master of Ethereum until they activate the Blink Moth Nexus.
Okay, so I guess we attack with our Eidolon then, right?
Yeah, that's the first thing we can do.
And then our Searing Blaze will be able to
kill the Blink
Moth Nexus when he attaches Cranial Plating to it. And he still can't play anything, otherwise he dies. So yeah, yes. Attack with... oh, wait. No, because he can activate...
he can activate it multiple times, right?
Yeah, he can activate it multiple times. So Mox Opal... because Mox Opal's on right now.
No, oh yeah, it is actually because of Cranial Plating. Huh.
Well, we can...
So we have to attack.
We still have that Searing Blaze, though. Yeah, we have to attack.
Searing Blaze doesn't kill the Blink Moth Nexus, though. Because it's a 2/2. But we have to attack no matter what, I believe.
Right. I agree with that.
Because they're just killing us in the air with Blink Moth Nexus.
Yep. Okay, let's attack for 2. We'll see what he does. Let's see. We might be able to, like, double spell. Yeah, if we double spell, then... Let's see, block there. We could kill both the Master and the Blink Moth.
Can we? How?
By doing... by bolting his Master here and Searing Blazing it. But then we go to 1.
And then we just die to the Blink Moth Nexus, right?
Yeah, he lets Eidolon go through.
So we could bolt the Master now, then they just activate it again.
We could wait for him to block. And then bolt it.
And then, but then he... Huh.
And then he loses both of his real creatures.
Then he can just activate Ink Moth Nexus.
Right, he'd attack us with... Yeah, he could activate Ink Moth Nexus, but we'd still have Searing Blaze then.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
okay,
let's do that.
And we're not taking damage off of the Eidolon
because it's dying in combat.
But they will be at 4. Yep, okay.
It's the best we can do, I think.
Yep. Give us a chance, because they'll just have an Ink Moth Nexus, which can't deal regular damage. Give it itself +1/+1.
Oh, now we can kill the Master.
Now we can kill the Master, which lets us trade.
Yeah.
We'll be at 1, but
so
I think
let our creature die. Don't do it now, because we don't want to take damage. Just let our creature die, because then when Master dies, it'll still be a 3/3, and then it'll turn into a 2/2.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So that doesn't actually change your play.
No, it doesn't.
Bolt here. Doesn't actually matter which one we Searing Blaze, does it? Whatever.
I guess
because
not.
It's... Yeah. But we are not in good shape.
Yeah, we really need to draw Boros Charm badly.
Yeah.
All right.
Activate the Mox Opal.
Mox Opal, yeah.
Which means we're playing a colored spell?
I suppose. Thoughtcast, perhaps?
Yeah.
An Opal.
Or...
Oh, okay, just to get the 3-drop.
Yeah, just to play the...
Master of Ethereum?
Yeah, it's either got to be a Master of Ethereum or an
Etch Champion. Okay, that's also bad.
Because it means we're dead next turn. Yeah.
That's not good. All right.
I think we're just dead.
Yep. Oh, well.
We'll let them do it, but we are dead.
That's unfortunate. We needed that land last turn.
Yeah. Actually, so that doesn't give us a go. Never mind.
Nope.
Yeah, because Cranial Plating just costs 1 real quick.
Yep, 4 power or 6 power Etch Champion.
Yep.
All right, and that's the match.